Hi, this is Richard from Regenpreneur. In this project we're creating this EnviroSchool demonstration site where students can engage and interact with this teaching environment to learn about the principles of looking after our natural environments to grow food producing systems and how these balanced natural ecologies work. The first phase of this project involves developing this aquaponics system. So this involves a 12 by 8 foot glass house, which is big enough for a small class to come into and also come into on a wet or a cold day and have this nice warm environment which the students can interact with. The design consists of excavating the base of the glass house, establishing some benches. So on the top bench is where you grow the plants, and it's some containers with gravel, and then the bottom containers have the fish in it. And then you pump water from a reservoir that is connected to all this. So you pump the water through the top containers, and the wastes from the food then become a plant food to feed the plants. The water then passes through the gravel and is cleaned and then flows back down into your containers where you have fish and other aquatic life. So this is a closed loop system that's always kept in this perfect balance where the waste from the fish provide the nutrients for the plants to grow, and then the services of cleaning the water from the plants and the gravel then ensure that the fish have this nice healthy environment to live in too. So by creating this system you learn about how to design these balanced natural systems, as well as looking after aquatic systems, growing food producing plants, and the requirements of creating systems which have a balance of plant and animal life. In addition to growing the food producing plants, the gravel medium that is in these containers are also act as this perfect substrate to grow cuttings as well. So the students can learn about how to propagate plants and use those cuttings to establish further systems that they develop on their site. The costs of the project involve the glass house, which is the main cost, the substrate, the liner at the base of the glass house, the rack which you put all of the containers on, the containers, the tubing that connects all the water flow, a nice pump to keep the whole system flowing, and then any plants or fish or other aquatic life that you want to introduce into the system. The productivity of the system is then the production of the food producing plants or the baby plants for the food forest, the fish that you can sell, the aquatic plants that you can sell, and also the value of the learning that the students can have of interacting with a system like this and being able to engineer it around their interests and explore different themes to do with food production, creating balanced closed loop systems and looking after aquatic ecosystems. Phase 2 of the project is then creating a pond next door. So as you excavate this site, you also excavate a pond next door, and then the pond water is pumped through the gravel medium to clean it, and then it flows back through next door. And then that outdoor area can be more extensive and involve different scale aquatic ecosystems, so you can create wetlands there and a bigger shallow pool where you can grow a wider variety of aquatic life. And then around the outside of that you can establish a food forest, so that the food producing plants that you grow within the containers here or from the cuttings, you can then transfer into those systems and create this nice rich learning environment out there as well. The third step from the project is then creating some garden beds. So as you excavate the soil from the base of the glass house and for the pond, you create some hugelkultur beds. So that involves taking some cuttings from trees and laying out those branches in some long lines, and then putting the soil that you excavated from these two systems on top of that. And then as the wood breaks down, it builds up the soil ecology and lots of fungi starts to colonize that, and the soil ecology and the fungi help to free up nutrients in that system to feed the plants and also retain the soil moisture so that it doesn't dry out too quickly. So this contrasts quite a lot from your conventional raised vegetable beds that dry out. They're very exposed to the elements and they don't tend to have much soil life at all in them. But the hugelkultur beds, by comparison, have this thriving soil ecology and they're much more resilient to drying out and other environmental stresses. You can then grow the vegetable seedlings in these containers and transfer them out into the hugelkultur bed, so that again the students learn about how to engage with the design of these different systems and how the elements from each system can interact and exchange with each other to create these productive systems. The EnviroSchool curriculum itself will then draw from different subjects from level 1 to level 4 and integrate them into this cohesive learning experience where students can learn about literacy and numeracy and history and geography and science within this interactive and engaging learning environment by creating a series of lesson plans based on different themes of different phases of the design of the system. So the project will involve in its entirety having that cohesive level 1 to level 4 EnviroSchool program, and then as we work through different phases of designing the system, we're creating some content to add to that bigger EnviroSchool program, so that by the end of the whole project we have this comprehensive curriculum that can be adopted by other schools and made available on our website. To find out more about the intentions of the EnviroSchool program, you can head over to our website on www.regenpreneur.com and see there some concepts of the ideas that we're developing, as well as exploring some examples of previous systems that we've set up to get an idea about what is the intention and the eventual outcomes from the project. We greatly appreciate your support and interest in the project, and please feel free to reach out to us at regenpreneur@gmail.com for any further information you'd like.